Hello and welcome to this brand and CRM X series talking about holistic customer-centric performance matrix. This is video 2, focusing on brand power and on consumer insights. In a previous session, I shared with you a methodology how to measure CRM effectiveness throughout the customer lifecycle, starting with the brand power, looking at also customer insights and personas, measuring purchase funnel and conversion, looking at customer lifetime value, and finishing this circle with loyalty and NPS measurements. With this strategic and holistic frame, you are able to follow the customer throughout the life stages, and you will be able to detect in which stage is there a problem within your CRM performance. One of the best tools to do this correctly is to separate leading actions from lagging results and to measure these separately, however to correlate them so you know which action leads you to which result. The agenda of today is starting with a partnership model between brand, marketing, channels and CRM, going into the details of traffic quantity, looking at traffic quality, and finishing this session with how to put this all into practice. My basic rule is not to talk about organization until we know what we want to target, what we want to achieve together. Still, at this stage, I would like to detail a little bit why I believe we should talk about brand power, brand perception, brand awareness, and so on in a CRM holistic performance matrix. These areas are traditionally owned by marketing or brand. However, within the customer-centric organizational model, I believe we should evolve towards a partnership model. The reason why is because the customer experience and the customer lifecycle starts already at the awareness phase. If the targeted customer experience and brand perception differs from the reality and the real perception and experience of the customer, we do have a problem. And this will show during conversion or even during the loyalty phase. Also me as a chief customer officer or director of CRM, if I don't receive the right amount of traffic and the right quality of traffic, meaning the right purchase intent, brand perception, I can have the best targeting, the best conversion tools, I will not be able to do magic. So I encourage you to create a partnership model between brand, marketing and CRM to make sure that the customer lifecycle is seamless, and this shows in a holistic CRM reporting as well. So let's approach traffic first from a volume perspective. In order to do that, I encourage you to report impressions, share of voice, brand awareness, and then traffic. Here again, the hint is to separate leading actions from lagging results. And these leading actions are actually impressions, how much you invested into media appearance, and share of voice, what's your share within that media market for the customer, how much he hears or she hears your brand versus competition. These are leading KPIs towards lagging results, such as brand awareness and traffic. This measurement frame will continuously enable you to answer the following questions. How strong is your brand? What is your base organic traffic? How successful are you with your ads? Where and when do you generate and how much traffic? What is your ROI of media investment? And you can also prepare your organization to manage the upcoming traffic by knowing what affects that traffic and what does it mean basically, such as product availability or resources. In terms of traffic quality, there are 3 major areas I would like to talk about. One of them is the real source of brand awareness, the other one is demographics, and the third one is purchase power. Let's start with demographics. If you have a simple online business with limited amount of advertising and purchase channels, that's an easy quick win since all your data is in your Google Analytics and social media monitoring tools. The challenge starts when you have a very diverse advertising space, such as online and offline media, and also your channels are extremely complex, like you have a retail footprint, customer can purchase through e-commerce, but also they can order through the customer relationship centers. If you do an experiment and compare your social media demographics versus your Google Analytics demographics, and you look at against these two, your loyal customer base and the demographics of your customer base, I'm sure you will find differences. In a holistic CRM performance matrix, I encourage you to look at your loyal customers base demographics. However, in a departmental report, such as marketing or brand reporting, I definitely would look into the details of each group and correlate these to conversion, so you can actually drive a mixity, a healthy mixity of your demographics and of your customer base in order to continuously improve your conversion. A bit controversial thought about brand awareness. I'm sure that you know that you can actually track down brand awareness through your digital marketing campaigns, through Google Analytics and so on, because of course you can follow the customer journey, where was an ad viewed and how it was clicked and what did the customer do online and how did the customer convert. My point is that just because you can measure and track the customer through digital media, it doesn't mean that the customer was aware about your brand through digital media. In such complex environments, which I described a few seconds ago, looking at brand awareness and the source of the customer only through this digital lens could be very dangerous and very misleading, because it tells you that the more money you invest in digital marketing, you're going to grow your brand. Don't misunderstand me, I love digital marketing and I think it's a huge enabler. Just don't be misled. Just because the customer was funneled through digital marketing, through the purchase funnel and through conversion, doesn't mean that the brand awareness was also triggered by digital marketing. In one of my previous articles, I posted about a brand, a giant fashion brand. No, a giant sport brand. This is going to be just a perfect bridge to talk about brand perception and brand expectations. Just let's go back to digital marketing for a second. So in this post, you will find a link to an amazing article where this giant sport or fashion brand, you name it, was admitting that they were tremendously investing into digital marketing because they were driving all their conversion through this digital lens. However, after a while, they realized that when they really link the brand awareness and the reason of the purchase behind the conversion, 65% of the sales were driven by branded activities and the brand perception. Also, in a previous video session, I was talking about how to build a CRM strategy successfully, and the base of this CRM strategy was to define your brand equity, to know who are your customers, and to target a customer experience. This is very important to revisit this base, and it's very important to actually measure this throughout the life cycle. Because again, if the initially targeted brand perception and customer expectation is not what the customer is experiencing and how he or she perceives the brand, you will have conversion and loyalty problems. Before moving to implementation, I'm sure you have thoughts that, okay, this is a perfect picture, I will never achieve this. First, because I'm a small organization and I don't have the means, or you're a large organization and you don't have the full consumer-centric vision and leadership. That's all fine. The only thing what I would like to achieve here is to give you a methodology, a roadmap, how to approach a customer-centric reporting. And whatever you feel relevant, you can pick and choose out of this in terms of what is your priority and how you can start with. The only thing what I would not do is to start patching without a frame and without a logic what you want to achieve and how you want to achieve it. I believe the secret for successful traffic quantity recording is to have a frame of the following elements. First of all, timeline, then impressions, recording your share of voice if it's available. Also, within this timeline, to make sure that you record your investment level, the generated traffic, and the achieved conversion. With this frame, you achieve step by step a roaming return of media investment or return on marketing investment methodology, since you can correlate leading actions to lagging results. In terms of traffic quality, for a sample size of your customer base, I would implement the following questions. On what level the below information sources help you to know our brand, to understand the real source of brand awareness? Or on what level the below information sources help you to shape opinion about our brand? Can you please rate the following statements? I find your brand affordable, high quality, sustainable and responsible, on-trend, fashionable, innovative, good value for money. I find your brand a sport brand, I find your brand a fashion brand, whatever is relevant, right? And at the end, going into a methodology of measuring the expectations towards your brand. Basically, it's very important that at this stage, when starting to measure the brand perception and the brand expectation of your customers, you agree on a methodology which you will use throughout the entire life cycle. Because if you measure the brand expectation of the customer at the early stage of the customer life cycle, you can follow the same methodology through and measure it after context, during loyalty phase, or even, unfortunately, during the phase of losing the customer. And then you will be able to compare the same aspects, what is important for the customer, and you can detect gaps, what went wrong, why the customer left the brand, or why is the customer loyal to the brand. Actually, you can even cross this data with NPS, and there is a very clear correlation. In many of my customer voice projects, I was working with Sonda Ipsos, and I had a great experience of using the SenseDM methodology. You may Google SenseDM Ipsos and you will even find a presentation and even a survey link which you can test. You will see that they are measuring brand expectations and brand experience on 8 dimensions. But again, you can choose any other suppliers and any other methodologies. But in this case, for instance, Ipsos is measuring enjoyment, conviviality, belonging, security, control, recognition, power, and vitality. For example, when recognition is measured, it is actually asking the customer on what level is it important for you, your unique individual needs to be recognized. Or when security is measured, it is asking the customer on what level is it important for you to feel safe and secure by using our services and products. How important for you is it to belong to a user community by purchasing our products and services? The idea is not that you can pick and choose from the 8 dimensions and only measure those. The idea is to find the right methodology matching to your brand and consistently measure all aspects. Why? Because when you do that, for every customer, for every scenario, you will be able to form a spider web, what is important at that life cycle for that customer type. And then you can compare expectations versus experience, which will be another spider web, and it will show you the gaps between. The smaller this gap is, you have the higher chance to have a great conversion or a great loyalty in the later stage of the customer lifecycle. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned, subscribe to be notified about the next video, which is going to talk about the conversion phase of the purchase funnel.